Hello YouTube. I wasn't gonna say anything because, to be honest, and I don't know if I said this before, but I personally do not believe in politics at all. I personally believe that politics is of the devil, because the devil comes to steal, kill, and to destroy, and ultimately divide us. And if you look at politics today, politics yesterday, or whatever, it divides people. It really does. You have Christians right now that are Trump supporters. You have Christians that are Biden supporters. And we're living in a time now where it's always been bad times. I just wanted to remind people of that. There was never a time when America was great. America is great because of two things: economics and war. I'm going to say that again. Even if you only have a high school diploma, if you've ever stepped foot in a U.S. history class, you know that our country is great because they steal. They steal oil. They steal resources. This is how they are great. America would not be great if our ancestors, Black Americans, weren't slaves, right? We built this country with our bare hands. That's just a common knowledge fact. Even if you just came here last year, Black Americans, we physically made this country. So that's why it's so called great, okay? We have a lot of resources. Also, we fought for many things. You know, other countries, people can't go to school, whatever. Guess what? Once upon a time, Black Americans, we could not go to school, okay? We were not allowed. Ruby Bridges, that wasn't that long ago. That happened in what, 1960, 59, whatever. She had the U.S. Marshal escort her to school. Little tiny girl, okay? So this country didn't become free overnight. We had blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors that fought for our rights. There was a time when we could not vote. There was a time we couldn't go to college. What is a historically Black HBCU, so historical Black college university? Why did that even come about? Because we, Black people, Black Americans, we were not allowed into colleges. So we had to make our own colleges, right? Look at the history of HBCUs. They started in the basement of people's homes because they wouldn't let us read. Frederick Douglass, and he's a very important person in history, Black American history. He was born into slavery. His parents were slaves, and his mistress, which was the master's wife, she taught him how to read. Back in those days, that if you didn't have the master's wife, or if the master or somebody in the house, if they didn't teach you how to read, you didn't know how to read, because back then you could get into trouble even as a master, or especially her, because at the same time women did not have rights. So you had the master that sometimes would beat his wife, and the you know how like getting married is a flex now, but it wasn't in the 1800s. Getting married meant a man taking charge over you, a man, you know, being property, you being his property. You know, you have a right to have a place to stay and bear his children. You were property as a woman, as a wife. You were his property, like his horse or cattle. True facts, okay? Women did not have, so it's funny when people talk about Muslimness and women didn't have rights either in this country. We had to fight. We had to fight for our rights. So that's the difference, that we're able to fight and we won, and things are able to be done. Where in other countries, you may or may not be able to fight. You could lose your life. But people lost their life fighting in this country as well, right? I wanted to make this video because I saw something so disturbing, and this is how the Antichrist is going to come in. If you read the book of Revelation, folks, it was prophesied that you would have someone that's going to be very he's going to be very charismatic. People are going to fall for him. He's going to do miracles and everything like that. And they're saying that oh, Trump has changed and he's Christian. I want you to look at a person's actions and use your discernment when you're voting. I will never say who to vote for. I will never say that. But when you are voting, you have to use discernment. This man just made a comment about black jobs. That wasn't long ago. He just said it, what, 2 weeks ago or so? And then the attempted shooting, I didn't realize, but when you really look at it, it was staged. This is the only country, that's how you know this country is really, is like, they laughing at us, right? People, because, you know, you have a lot of people that are very proud Americans, and I'm happy for you, I really am. But this country is embarrassing. It really is. And, you know, this country is really embarrassing. And because what other country is going to have a staged thing like that? He got shot, but it's staged. It's like, really? We really are idiots over here. Like, you know, for real. It's like, that's nothing to stage. Like, you really, like, so people could feel sorry for you, so you could get votes. And then what happens after that? So he has a video saying his favorite book is the Bible. That to make America great again, we need to pray. And he's talking about Jesus. And gullible religious people are going to fall for it. Because that's his MO. And that's what I wanted to tell people. Just in general, not just with politics, but anybody in your life they showed you who they were. Don't fall for, oh, he's changed. That's just like a woman that's in a DV situation. And let's say she was with a man for a year, 2 years, whatever. And the whole time he beat her every night. And so he comes to her and says, oh, I got saved and I go to church now and I'm not going to hit you no more. You would be a fool to go back to that man. You would be a utter fool. You know, that's just like with Donnie McClurkin. He was gay for many years. And now he's talking about, oh, well, he's a changed man. He's saved. No, it don't go like that. If somebody's been living a certain... Trump is in his 70s. Okay? He's 3 years younger than Biden. This man is older than my parents. If you older than my parents, you old. My parents are 68 this year. My mother just turned 68. My father will be 68 next month. You older than them, you old. Because my parents are old. My parents, when they were born, black and white TV. No air conditioner. That's old. You know. So, Trump was born before my parents. Okay, he was born in the 1940s. Okay, so he's seen a lot of things in his life. And he is from a generation of, they hate black people. That's the generation they come from. So you have to understand, this man been hating black people and been racist for a long time. And that comment that he just made about black jobs, he gonna keep on making comments. But he knows that as long as he talk about Jesus and as long as he pray, y'all gonna fall for it. Oh, he's a changed man. Paul changed from Saul to Paul. David, listen, first of all, those people, they from thousands of years. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But I need people to stop being brainwashed. Like, especially my millennials. We smarter than that. Come on now. Now, for the baby boomers and stuff like that, you know, they are who they are and they're not going to change their mind. But even the baby boomers know that Trump is a bunch of, like, to sit there and support Trump wholeheartedly is like, that's crazy. And I seen it on TikTok. I'm very new to TikTok. And this guy is talking about, oh, Trump changed, and if you don't see that, then you need to look in the mirror. I don't go around talking about other ethnicities and stuff and talking about white jobs. I don't do that. So for him to say black jobs, he just said that recently. So why would you think a person like him is Christian? Why would you think a person like him loves Jesus? See, what people don't realize is Jesus did not hate on people, okay? When they brought a woman to him who made a mistake and she was caught in adultery, you know what he said to her? Sin no more. So I don't understand how people are so like hateful and judgmental, and just, Jesus would never tell a Muslim that they're a terrorist. Jesus would never say anything remotely evil. Jesus was a man of peace. If he wasn't anything else, our Savior was peaceful and loving. And if you don't see that in someone's character traits, they are not Christian. I don't care if they go to church every Sunday and Friday, Tuesday. If their actions, I need you to look at these people's actions, folks. If their actions don't show the love of God, they are a liar. And it's prophesied in the book of Revelation. That's why I'm surprised that people are falling for what's coming out of his mouth. Because guess what? The devil knows who Jesus is. How you think he got kicked out of heaven? He knows exactly who God is. That's how he went from Lucifer to the devil, because he knows who God is. And he also knows how to trick his people. Don't be a victim of trickery. In the book of Revelation, it talks about how you're going to have, maybe not necessarily Trump, but you're going to have a man in New Babylon. This is New Babylon, by the way. This is New Babylon, America. You're going to have a man he's going to do miracles. It's going to be 7 years of prosperity. This is what the Bible says. 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of torment. You're going to have a man that's going to be very charismatic, and you have to be aware of this. And those of us there's a lot of things in the Bible that's a little weird to me, but the book of Revelation is real, folks, and it's coming to pass, okay? They talk about the United Nations, they talk about the thorns and all of that, right? So you have to remember, we're living in the end times. And if you don't believe we're living in the end times, I don't know what I could do to make you believe that. But we are living in the end times. You're going to have a lot more Trumps coming forward, portraying to be good people, and they are not. He, of all people, you should know that he is from Satan himself. Jesus would never portray or proclaim hate. That's all this man talk about is hate. Then he want to talk about black jobs. What exactly is black jobs? I'm confused. And then he almost loses his life, and we all know that was staged. He just did that so he could get people to feel sorry for him. That's the best way you could get votes, is, oh my God, he almost lost his life. And then he's like this. If you almost got shot at, who in their rightful mind is going to do this? Pay attention, folks, and have discernment. And not just when it comes to politics, but when it comes to anything in your life. If somebody show you they butt the first time, believe it. And those are my thoughts.